The crazy situation we find ourselves in now as Digimon fans is that even when objectively all of the big news is out of the way for a while, we still get news all the time. Whether it be the TCG, the video games, mobile games, or other parts of the franchise, we've already got quite a lot to talk about this week alone, and we're kind of in a lull period. Imagine what's to come soon. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another news video. Thank you for watching my video on Friday, by the way. Appreciate everyone who watched it. And yes, we've got some news today. I want to first talk about the Digimon card game and Digimon Alysion, because we do have some crumbs about Digimon Alysion that are interesting. First of all, though, in the TCG side of things, I don't talk about it a ton, but I think it's very funny that we had the ban list this week, and only 4 cards were affected in this ban list, which is crazy. Obviously, they have completely banned Hyokomon, and they have also nerfed the Patron BT14 card, has been limited to 1. Analog Youth has been limited to 1 as well, which is rough. I've seen a lot of people who just bought 4 copies of one of the alt arts, which oof. And Greymon X Antibody got hit for some reason. It feels very late in the card's lifespan to start nerfing it now, though we do have a few sets of the TCG that probably are going to make Greymon X Antibody quite broken even more so, such as EX14 Chivalrous 13, which of course will have a Gallantmon card or 2, and Ignition of X, which is X Antibody themed, plus Abyss of X is happening as well, I guess. Plenty of room there for Greymon X Antibody to get even more broken, so I get it. But amidst all this physical TCG news, and thank you to Digicard Player for posting this, it looks like we got some rumors or unconfirmed information on the Digimon Alysion ST25 and ST26 starter decks, which have this art of Rubius Dramon and Kanan and Yukinamon and Valna. And according to this information, Ignition of X, the upcoming booster set, which comes out in December around the same time as these starter decks, is going to include app-linked serial codes. Given the only app related to the TCG we have coming out is Alysion, I mean there's the tutorial app too, but it's not going to be that. That seems to indicate that booster boxes at least are going to start coming with codes which you can redeem in Digimon Alysion. This is awesome. First of all, it indicates that yes, Alysion will be out by December when this pack comes out, but also that they are doing something which is very popular in other TCGs such as Pokemon, where in packs you get codes to redeem in the online version of Pokemon TCG. Now, this does seem to indicate that you're only getting 1 code per box at the moment. I think it would make a lot of sense instead of the memory counter that we used to get in Digimon card game booster packs, instead having a serial number card which gives you some kind of reward in Alysion, maybe a free booster pack, pull, or something. Though that is, of course, when you're pulling big booster boxes, a lot of useless cards. I do get that. But for me, if the extra bit of cardboard at the back isn't just another memory counter, but actually gives me something to redeem in Alysion, that would be huge. But maybe for game balance reasons, they don't want that many codes out in the wild. This is all really good news for Digimon Alysion, and I'm really excited to see this game finally come out, especially with the kind of controversy around Digimon Up, the good and the bad there in that game. It's going to be nice to hopefully have something come out that is more liked. I hope it is more liked. I hope it is not plagued with as many problems. We also have Timeless Bonds coming out in September, which of course has a focus on Time Stranger, the Olympus 12, Kunlun, and for the first time ever, the little chicken I championed for all these years, Hyokomon, is in the TCG. Not just Hyokomon though. Hyokomon, Baraimon, Butenmon, Chronomon, Holy Mode, and Destroy Mode. It feels so good to have backed this Digivolution line and branch for so long, and to now see it with awesome new art in the TCG blows my mind. Speaking of Digimon Up, according to data mines, we're meant to be getting a Mat and Gabumon buddy pull and a Metal Garurumon SP support, with the current banners ending next week, but Digimon Up socials have gone very quiet. They've talked about maintenance and things like that, but they're not doing active promotion right now. And I think that's for a reason. I think Bandai Namco and probably the dev team, the third party they outsource to, have been having some words behind the scenes. My expectation is that sometime next week, before the current banners run out, there will be some kind of post on socials that will be like more of an official apology, a roadmap going forward, something like that. Not Not necessarily like big, huge, oh my god, we're adding so much to the game, but we're just like, okay, mea culpa, we messed up real bad. Here's the roadmap for the rest of the game if it doesn't just go end of service soon. I'm really hoping though that they can recommit, double down, and turn around the ship that is Digimon Up sentiment, and hopefully they can begin to do that next week. Back to Time Stranger. Well, of course, we don't have news on the upcoming DLC for 2027. This is a large-scale expansion style DLC, which is going to be bigger than the first 3 waves we got initially with the game. We do have some interesting updates to the world of Time Stranger and Iliad. Like I said before, the Timeless Bond set is coming out. We also now have American pre-orders open on Premium Bandai for the Digimon Pendulum Color 8 and 9. As of time of publishing, these are still available if you're in America. Of course, again, if you're in the UK or other countries like that, they won't ship to you. With pre-orders expected to close by January 21st, 2027, but they will close them earlier if they run out of pre-order stock, and then they're going to ship out in February of next year. On top of that, they recently had a popularity poll for Digimon Beat Break, asking the favorite guest Digimon from recent episodes 25 through to 37, and no surprise here, the winner was Elizamon with quite a significant chunk. Elizamon got 26.2% of the vote share, then Helugamon down at 11.6%, under half of what Elizamon got. Then Fumamon, Algomon, Mephismon, Starmon, Myotismon, Vulturemon, Mummymon, Bombermon, and then Jokermon. This again shows that the fandom are massively fond of Elizamon, however you want to pronounce it, with it also being quite high up on the popularity poll for Digimon that people like overall, that are very likely contenders for Time Stranger DLC or future story games. Given that its evolutions in Lamiamon and Medusamon have such connection to Greek mythology, it really wouldn't surprise me if we see the full Elizamon evolution line, maybe even Storakomon, next year in that Time Stranger DLC. Helugamon also coming second place I think is really good because Lugamon was also in that poll, and Fumamon is technically a Gamamon evolution, so you can start to see how these things come together in the fandom, kind of like hive mind. Even Argomon or Algomon is also another Digimon that you can connect to Greek mythology with the Argos. I can definitely see a lot of these showing up in Time Stranger, but it also gives them, of course, an idea of what to put in future games too, so it's a win-win. As for that DLC, of course, we have no real insight right now, but things are kind of wide open. So Time Stranger DLC news could drop literally from tomorrow to anywhere in the future, from Gamescom opening night live this month, which I'm going to be streaming on Tuesday, to Tokyo Game Show in September, to the Game Awards in December maybe. However, we have to remember, besides the initial GameStop leak, Time Stranger was revealed at a State of Play. The Switch ports were revealed at a Nintendo Direct. Any of these events plus random tweets could be where news on this DLC is next seen. I really doubt Time Stranger will wait for Alysion to release. If anything, it behooves them to have multiple plates spinning, like how we had Time Stranger and Beat Break and even kind of Alysion marketing all in tandem last year. It is possible we don't hear any more about it until DigimonCon next year in March, but that just feels more like an event you would reveal a release date at, not first details, you know? People are talking now about a complete edition, which again I think is likely in future, but I wouldn't expect it until after the DLC. It would make no sense. You can't have a complete edition if the complete game isn't out for purchase. As far as a release for that would go, I'm picturing a sort of Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury style box art for a complete edition, because I do think the terminology they're using, expansion style DLC, large scale DLC, will be significant, but probably not the same length and amount of new Digimon as the base game. I don't think this will be quite on the scale of Hacker's Memory, though I'd love to be proven wrong, but either way I think that kind of marketing would work, you know, Digimon Story Time Stranger plus whatever the new DLC is called as a complete edition. My hope is then that they don't milk it and do another major DLC, but instead focus on development for the next story game, and I also still believe Redigitize will re-release in 2027 or 2028. It feels very likely to me that we are going to see a re-release in English dub and beyond of Redigitize next year or the year after. Also, finally, I'm not being paid to say this or anything, but the AFK Journey collab with Digimon is now out. You can go play it. They've got Matt and Tai, Agumon, Gabumon, and warps to War Greymon and Metal Garurumon. I've never really played AFK Journey, but I'm going to be putting out a short next week, which I think you'll be interested in, and I'm hopefully going to do a stream next week to give it a go before this banner ends. So don't get me wrong, not a rip-roaring, insane amount of news this week for Digimon, but it's kind of crazy that we have this much to talk about. But again, if this is one of our quietest weeks in quite some time, you can just imagine how it's going to be in the future. But anyway, thank you to my sovereign ZDK14 over on patreon.com/Karn EX, and all my other patrons over there. You guys are phenomenal. I really do appreciate it. And my amazing YouTube channel members here on YouTube too. And I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.